second. Mm.
Recording is on.
Okay, so I want to go over with A. So some of this stuff is what I was getting just out of my head, and I wrote it down because how it went along with it. Other stuff was actually, it's just usually words or like 2 words that come through. Everything else is just gibberish all the time. So one of the things I said, I was asking, there's still people, they just don't have bodies. Okay, so you still have to have like a normal conversation. You just can't be like, come here and talk to me, bitch. Right? It doesn't work like that. So one of the things, I haven't had this response in a very long time. And I said, what are you doing? Like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, what are you doing? And the first thing that came out of my little box was party. And I'm like, okay, that's random. So I'm like, we're having a party. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I didn't get anything else. But then as like in my head, as I was like asking, like, who is he with? Who is he with? Like, is there anybody else that's also crossed over? There were 2 other people, I guess older people that show up that could be his parents, maybe, because it's a male and a female energy. And then another one, it was a woman that showed up, and that either means it was like either best friend or sister, because that goes along the same lines. So it's those 3. And then the other thing that made me think it was sister is because when I asked who it said sister. Did he have those? Are those people passed? Okay, cool, perfect. All right, so because I was like, who are we having a party with? And like, you could just see him in your head, and you're like, all right, and you can feel if it's male and if it's female, and like how old, and like this, and then this other woman. And I was like, maybe this is a wife or something. And it was like, no. And then it said it on the box with it. So I was like, okay, so cool. All right, let me check that off. Another thing is I kept asking, I was like, who am I going to be talking to today? Who am I going to be talking to? Like, what is a relationship? Because I always like to build that. I also like to do it like say my name, like Amy Bolesky is not exactly the easiest thing to say in a box. And then he said daughter. So are you daughter?
I am.
Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, got that. He's beautiful. He's beautiful so far. Another thing that showed up, and this was just a name that kept coming through in my personal head, and I don't know if we just had a really big thing for State Farm or if there's a Jake.
A Jake?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, my husband's name is Jacob, and people call him Jake.
Okay.
But I also have I deal with State Farm, and I just had this like big crazy deal with them. So
okay. That's part of this. Okay, we'll talk about that. That's part of the signs and symbols. Literally kept pulling up the ad where it said like Jake from State Farm. And I'm like, does it work out? Like, what is this? Like, I haven't seen that in a long time. Okay, so that's probably a combination of the 2, letting me know these 2 things. So know that we know about this or whatever, and we can get into what's going on there too. Hang on, I'm putting on my music at the same time. Another thing that was funny that he was talking to me in my head is I was like, you look good, you look good. Like I was looking at his picture. I was like, I like the stash. I like the stash. I was like, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? And the way so whenever they talk like they would in real life. Like I get accents, I get everything. And so I may even like resemble that as I tell you things. He's told me he was like, man, no. He's like, I wasn't even 60 yet. Was he not 60 yet? Okay, cool. He's like, man, no. Like has this really quickness about him. And
yes.
Okay. And then he was like, one of the other things that was going on in my head, and this is still going on right now because he's like messing. He's a big, like funny person that likes to poke at people and like make fun of them constantly and everything like that, but very, very nice. So one of the things he keeps showing is I was like, is that your last name? Is that your last name? Like La Paris. I'm like, I use the skincare for that. And I guess that goes along with French or something like that. And he was just like, I was like, do you speak French? He's like, no. He's like, but like ancestors or something like that go along with it. Like, but he's talking about like being a coon ass or something.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Is that a thing?
It is.
Okay. Legit was like coon ass. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I like the name. So we'll continue on with that. Perfect. I'm sorry if this gets very intense very quickly, but this is why I want to.
It does. It is.
Yeah, see, another thing that was going on with him, party, wait, frame. He was talking about, Oh, that was another thing that was going on. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's talking about how they don't have like really good food, which they don't eat, but they always mention food. And he said something about like rice with everything. And I'm like, okay. Anyways, that's a whole nother thing. And then with another word, I guess we're like either originally like from the South or we're like from the Creole area, because one of the words that came out was boudin.
Boudin. Yes.
Okay, but it was more like boudin. And I was like, Putin? Boudin? That went along with like rice. So I was like, all right, I bet we're talking about this here. So, okay, perfect. So so we're all, okay, either they're from that area or there. Okay, hold on. One of the things he was talking about was, and this is really weird, was like my demons. And I don't get that. Legit said that word. When I asked him, I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Because you could feel them. You got thick. And then it said, my demons. And I'm like, we don't let all that stuff in here right now, right? Like, that's not a thing. But the fact that he said that, the only other time I've heard that was before is with a military person that killed himself. But he said it in my head, not out loud. And so we'll go into that too. Hang on. Another thing that was said in my head was, it was scary. And I was like, oh, and then something else to deal with crime, and then something else to deal with like, what was there something about like how his death went, like framing it or something like that?
I don't know. It's a very odd. I mean, do I go into full detail? Do I tell you what
No,
happened?
no, not yet. I'll tell you in just a second, because one of the things was like, I'm out. Wait, hold on. I wrote it down. It was in my head. I'm something. It was like I was framed man, or something like, or like they framed me man, or like something like that. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. So it's obviously like something is set up, something is made to look like here. I don't know. We'll get into that in just a second. Another thing that he brought up, and this is so random. This is another one of those stupid signs that you're like, how does that work? He was showing me the Ninja Telos, like the not the Ninja Turtles, and he kept hitting on like Raphael. Is there somebody named like Raphael or Raphi or something like that? No, I lost you. Come back. Or like Rafi or Raphael.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you kind of.
His okay. His wife's name is Rafi.
That's a name?
That's the name. Yes, her name is Rafi.
How would I get that in my head? How do you go from Rafi to that? That's so random. Sorry, I'm perplexed at my own head right now. I'm just like, okay. Because he keeps literally showing it up. Like, these are the people he wants to reach out to. Like, completely showing up like these Ninja Turtles. And like, that's the only thing I have in my head. Hang on. Said I was dumb. It was dumb. Hang on. Okay, now we're getting into it. Now we're getting into this. Hold on. I'm asking him right now. So I'll tell you what I'm asking in my head, but I constantly have things going on. Sorry. Now I'm channeling. Hang on. He's talking about, I'm asking him, do you miss anybody? Do you miss anybody? And he's like, yeah, I miss him. And I'm like, well, who do you have? And he's talking about how he has like a slew of grandkids or something like that. Like a whole butt ton of them. He's not even 60. How does he have a slew of grandkids?
His son has seven kids. His other daughter has 5, and I have 1. So he's got 13 grandkids altogether.
Holy crud. Okay.
Yeah.
When he's talking about that, I'm like, you're not. I'm like, you probably have 2. I'm like, you're freaking lying on that. Like, that's not a thing. Okay. They don't lie. It's just me having to give up. Hang on. Is there a new one coming in soon?
Well, my son's new. He's almost 2. He didn't get to meet my son.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Because he's showing me new baby or new child that wasn't associated with him. Okay, perfect. Did we name it after him, but like not the full name?
Okay, now see, there's two. My sister has a son that he didn't get to meet either. And she named him Michael, and I named my son Anthony, which is his middle name.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Sorry, because he's showing me how like parts of his name are used, but not the full name. And so I'm like, okay, awesome, cool. Hang on. He's talking about putting them down there. He's talking about putting them down there with you, like him physically doing it. And I'm like, hang on. Wait.
Wait, I lost you. I lost you. What did you say?
Oh no, you're fine. It's just a connection. He's talking about like him physically putting them down there with you. Like that's his doing. Like for the kids. Hang on. That's him. Hang on. I want to go into his passing and what happened with that because that's a whole lot of different jazz. Hang on. He's like, I go, what do you, I'm asking him like, well, okay, so I'm talking to him right now and they always place me in like their version of heaven. And so now I'm talking to him and he's outside and he's like shooting a gun out into the woods or something like that. Like here, like, and I'm like, what are you doing? And like, you can feel the leaves because it's like kind of like fall at this point. And I'm like, what? Hey. And I'm like, hi, welcome in. Like, that's what he's doing. Hang on. He's funny. I asked him about his shirt. I said, where did you get that? He says, it's the cutoff or whatever it is. He says, you get hot, but you have to look fancy. I said, that's the best thing ever because that's also like what we're wearing. Hold on. Wait. Were they trying to like delineate what y'all were gonna put him in, like a monkey suit or something regular for the
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, because he's talking about that. He's talking about like delineating and he's like switching them off. Like they wanted to put me in a monkey suit or something I was cozy with. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, did the monkey suit win out?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, because he's like, I'm asking him, I go, which one won out? And he's like, this is incredibly uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. He knows what's happening. Hang on. He was like, now I've left here all eternity. Thanks, girls. Like that.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's a joke. They still joke. They love it. Wait, so did you get cremated or did you get, hold on. Although they laid me right down in the ground. Oh my God. Hang on. Wait. How, dude, you're talking really well. Wait, when did this happen? Hold on. Is it like, hold on. Has it been like, he says like just been 3 years or something like that?
It has. This June made 3 years.
Okay, cool. He's good. See, and it's this type of, hang on. And I'm like, how can you talk this well? Which they can, a lot of them can. And he's talking about they have a lot of unanswered questions. Hang on. It's almost like somebody thinks it's a suicide.
I do.
But then it's like he's like, hang on. There's somebody else involved, but it's not a murder. It's like it was like helped or talked about with somebody else. Hang on. Did he shoot himself?
No.
Really? Talking about stringing up like a sack of potatoes. What are you talking about? Stringing up like a sack of potatoes. What are we saying about a sack of potatoes? Hang on. He's talking, there's like something that's weird about this because hold on. Because he's like upset about it. He's not in the whole like guilty part of like, it was me, it was terrible, I was depressed, I was sad. Yes, there's demons involved, but it's like, there's somebody else involved. But who?
I can tell you.
It's almost like, so he's showing me a thing of like, and this is my sign for like somebody else is involved, like getting hung, but then somebody else is like kicking the chair out from underneath them. But both party knows what's going on, you know?
Uh-huh.
I seen my days. I had my numbers. Why? Hang on. There was always a way out. Shut up. Hang on. He didn't even say goodbye to you first. He just kind of did it. That's what he says. And that's the guilt part. And whenever they do it, like that's the guilty part. That doesn't exist usually. Hang on. Everybody just has to be a man. Shut up. That's him. He's talking about the situation, the scenario. Don't blame it on him. Was it another male helping him?
A man pulled him out of the vehicle.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Because it's like he keeps talking about a man. Like, don't blame it on him. Don't blame it on him. Hang on. Something about like being drunk or something like that. Letting myself go. Something about like.
Killed.
Oh, what happened? How did this happen?
He got in a bad vehicle accident. He was really messed up. Him and his wife had gotten in a bad fight, and he actually kicked her out of the vehicle. Not like kick her, but like he made her get out.
Yeah.
And then he wrecked not even a half a mile from where he put her out at.
So that's why another person is there knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, it's. I'll teach her. I thought I'd get it out alive, though.
I don't know what that means.
He says the whole thing, it was almost like it blew up in flames or something like that.
The truck.
Yeah.
It did.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, he just shows it in my head. Like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like he's making me stand away from it with him and watching it. And I'm like, hold on. Wait. He said, I was being a dumbass, man. I was being a dumbass. I'm really fucking sorry about that. You know, I'm just really fucking sorry about that. No wonder he wants to talk to Rafi about it. Rafi. Hang on. He says, she was the love of my life, man. He was the love of my life. But, ooh, we'd get into it. Hang on.
Is he talking about Rafi, though, or is he talking about Mama?
Hey, well, there's two of them. Hang on real quick. Hang on. He calls your mom like sweet thing or something like that. That's so, like, right when you said it, it's like, and I'm like, where are we going here? Hang on. Push me to the limit almost like she meant to. There's some like weird like foul play going on here somewhere. Like not meaning to, not murdering, but like we knew it could have stopped, but we didn't. And then this is what caused it. Now we have to live with it on both sides, you know? Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, he was dead at the scene.
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, did they take you? I was like, oh, the gentleman pulled you out. I was like, did they take you? You know, how long were you alive for? He was like, oh, no. He was like, I crapped out at the scene. I was like, I know. Hang on. He says he's sorry for fucking up. Something about, I have a temper or something like that. Hang on. Yeah. He's talking about, he's like, oh, when I get mad, I just get to see in red, like that. He's talking about having beady little eyes, and I'm like, shut up, you don't.
He does though. He does have beady little eyes.
That's what he says. He's like mentioning how they're like, they get that, and I'm like, stop. Hold on. If I could go all back. I'd go all back. I'd go back. Cool down, cool down, cool down. What is like, okay, so they keep he keeps showing me like, and I have no idea how this fits in with anything right now. What does he, okay, so obviously I cook, right? And when you get pieces of pork belly and you cut them thicker, but then you fry them up, they're called lardons.
Cracklins.
No, this is like, he's like associated. Well, he talked about that with hot sauce earlier in my head. Now, that's a whole nother thing. This is talking about like either a name or a representation of somebody, like lardon or like lardo or like lar something.
Larto.
What's larto? Who is that?
His nickname is Larto.
Y'all have some really.
Did you see it?
Okay, so it actually is the thing. I'm like, do we really like bacon, or is there something I'm missing here? Okay. Wait. He's talking about how like that tattoo, you just like instantly like ran out and got it. Like it was a very quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He says, "Oh, my sweet little thing." He's like, she is instantly like ran out and got it. Gah! Hold on. That's holy crap. Hang on. But he's talking about, I guess, with the State Farm thing, they're trying to screw you or something like that. Hang on. Something about jacking it up and then something about else. Hang on. Did you get into like a tiny little accident and it's just like that and they're not wanting to pay for that or something, or what's happening with him?
No, I didn't. I don't have any dealings with his wife Rafi.
Yeah.
She does some very dirty, shady stuff.
Yeah.
And she was getting my mail from State Farm and wasn't telling me. And when I found out about it, it's hard to explain. Like it would take me an hour to go through the whole concept of it.
Yeah.
But State Farm wouldn't cooperate with me, and I had to actually get the Louisiana insurance place involved in it, so they can get in and get my file because they wouldn't let me see my documents and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it was that kind of mess.
No wonder he said they're screwing you over. Okay. Hang on. What? Hold on. Wait, what questions do you have for him right now? Sorry, I'm going to keep going down my merry old way and then I'll forget.
What did he say?
Hang on. Wait. Whenever you say something, hang on. Did like one of the kids move into his house?
My sister.
Perfect. So this is a whole long paragraph he's talking about. He's talking about how, oh, my stuff. He's talking about people are fighting over it like badgers or something like that. And like taking it out, bring it back in, like moving it, blah, blah, blah. Then he's talking about a kid moving into the house. And he's talking about how, hold on. My privacy is gone. That's what he's talking about. Hang on. Great. He's talking about great place to raise kids out there. I guess he lives on a little bit of land or like in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Cool. Perfect. It's like you can shoot anything, Hold on. He's like all about fishing and hunting and like what and like, hold on. Are y'all like central Louisiana?
We are.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I drive across I-10 all the way on the bottom and go through like Lafayette, Baton Rouge, New Orleans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so
I live like 2.5 hours from Baton Rouge.
okay, cool. Because I'm asking him, I was like, I don't ever go up in the middle area or anything like that. And I was like, oh, so what do you think about the bayous and the gators and stuff like that? And he's showing me that he lives in like the hardcore forested area, and so I'm like, oh, okay, I know that's up here, not down here. So
Yeah.
he's just like, don't associate with me with that. And I'm like, okay, hang on, very different. Hold on, hold on. Do you bring your kid out there to see his grave?
I don't. I haven't. I have a hard time going to his grave.
Okay. There's something about having like a baby come out there, and he gets excited about that. Hang on.
That must be my sister.
Probably ask her about that, because literally showing me like this kid walking, and I'm like, okay, not, baby for me is like less than 3. What?
Wait, hold on a second. I did bring my son out there one time. I did when we put White Rock down. I brought my kid out there. Oh my God.
Yeah, because he's like it's his kid. It's little though, so because like your hands, like, I mean, I guess you're short, but your hands like way down here, and it's like seeing it. So it's this whole big thing, and they always associate it with you. Hang on.
Yeah.
So I said, why did they put White Rock down there? He was like, so I don't come up out of the ground and get him. I'm like, can you stop? That's a bad joke. Hang on. It's this is his personality. This is who he is.
Yes, it is.
This is him. Holy crap. Hold on. I want to get wait. Did somebody pick a piece off of his truck and keep it?
His sister did.
Cool. Okay, cool. Because I that was like, I'm asking him, what do you want to tell me? What do you want to tell me? And he's showing his truck. He's showing it how it's like completely destroyed. Then he's showing me some crazy woman coming up and like prying something off of it, or like taking it off and like keeping it. And I'm like, what is going on? And he's saying, oh, the whole thing needs to be trashed anyways, like that. Just like laughing about it back and forth. He's like, you can keep it. I'll let you keep it. That's what he's telling to her. Mom and dad are good. Mom and dad are good. Mom's the one that found me. Oh.
What?
Hang on. Who is the male and the female that are present with him?
His mom and dad, maybe?
Yeah, mom and dad. Correct. Yeah. Because when he said, I was like, no, I'm like, you're saving mom and dad. So yeah, hang on. So these are the people that came down and got him and took him away once he passed.
Oh.
That's what that is. Especially when you pass in a situation like this, and what was going on, and the amount of like anger, frustration, and then complete shock. You as a soul, when you leave in that type of way, you can get really confused and you stay in the area, which is why he talked about it lighting on fire, right? Like the whole thing. And then at that point, then they're like, well, shit, what do I do now? And then they come down and get you.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't worry about him. Do you have any questions for me or for him?
I just love him. I miss him.
I know, he loves you too. He's around. He's fully around. He was saying, I was asking him earlier in my box, I was like, what do you mess with? He says he messes with the TV. So if you ever have that happen, please let me know.
Okay. I don't think I've ever paid attention to the TV.
Well, you need to. So watch out with that. He feels like a very, not heavy in a bad way, but heavy in a good way presence, which means that you can feel him when he comes around. But he has a lot of people he's spread out between. So he was able to come through because of you. Tell him you love him, because he does love you. That's the biggest thing with all of this. And what I want you to do right now in closing is phenomenal. I'm so glad I got on 5 minutes early to talk to you. Number 2, if you have any questions or if you need me again, just email me. Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, what I want you to do when we get off this call in just a second is I want you to take about 5 minutes and I want you to have an ugly cry.
Okay.
Because we bring him in, he's this big person, and we gotta allow it to, move down. Hang on. He said he wasn't that big, but he could kick some ass.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm saying big person. He's like, oh, hey, I'm not that big. I was like, oh, he's like, I can kick some ass. I'm like, thank you for the commentary. And then number 3, tonight, before you go to bed, before your head hits the pillow, if you can take a couple of moments and tell him thank you and tell him that you love him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll send this to you tomorrow. And then if you have any questions, let me know. Okay.
All right.
I love you,
Yeah.
Summer.
Thank you. I love you.
You're welcome. Bye, baby.